You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. My feet have come too far for you to tie 'em to the ground. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Set my sights on where I'm going at. They turn it back around. You can't stop me.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Psychic Coffee Shop. And I wonder why we got weird there for a moment.
Oh no, did we get weird for a moment?
It sounded like that the intro got a little weird. Got to be enjoying it, though, I'm telling you. Mercury in retrograde has been in kick thy ass form this week.
You mean it was not a good time for me to redo our home network? What?
Yeah, it was not a good time for you to redo the home network. It wasn't a good time for you to, I don't know, take everything apart and put it back together again, or for companies to release betas, and it's just like fucking really.
Hey.
Can we stop doing this? Consult your local astrologer before planning shit.
Hey, you have the right to say no.
No.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right, so hello, Miss Dottie. How are you, darling? I'm sure you've been kicking something, maybe a billboard. Barb, Brenda, how are you? Amanda, how are you doing? I'm doing good. And Facebook user Shannon, how are you, darling?
Very cool, very cool, very cool.
Yeah, so I thought that we would go into a little weird news. I thought we'd talk about your new toy. Talk about the new white thing I now have in my living room.
So, yeah, I replaced what we've been doing, and it's common in a lot of homes.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it in so many homes. Every home has it. The cable modem that then has a wireless router connected to it. We pulled out the wireless router because technically the cable modem is a router. And really what we needed was better wireless. So yeah, as luck would have it, I had a very nice access point given to me by a client. So that took the place of the wireless router that we had.
Yeah.
It's not that the router that the wireless router we were using was bad. It's actually a really, really good one. We're just slowly approaching the point in which it wasn't handling.
Right.
It was just too much. And the access point is actually better suited to doing what we needed. So
again, we have a nice white thing in our living room now. It looks like the alien dome piece. I still haven't got my virtual VPN person. I mean, I just would love them to materialize and take my coffee order.
No, we're not working on that. Mostly because if we did that during Mercury in retrograde, they would get your coffee wrong, and then you'd just be inconsolable.
I'm still inconsolable.
Well, basically, you're a giant man-child, but
I'm the giant man-child. I'm the giant man-child. Who has been playing with hammers and screwdrivers and tools all day?
But no, that's just manly.
Just
manly.
They can't build me a virtual assistant.
I'm not building you a virtual assistant. You'll want it to have sexual function, and that would just be weird.
No, although that's a thought.
Well, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I haven't thought about that maybe I should be thinking about looking deeper into.
Oh, wow. So Shannon got over Omicron? Or is that a different Facebook user? Dottie's getting spicy in here.
Spicy, please, honey. We haven't even reached spice. We aren't even close to heating up any spice.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you said this wasn't coffee and tea. I'm sorry, I've screwed up. That's with Dottie.
Yeah, that's
Um,
the body where we actually have a lot of spicy going on there.
oh my goodness, Shannon. I hate to hear you had Omicron. Like, oh my God. But
Ugh.
we're so glad you're better.
Yes, very glad you're better. We're glad
Yeah.
you're getting over it. Please remember to take care of yourself. Please remember that as soon as you're better, you need to start an exercise program to rebuild your lungs because this stuff is nasty.
Well, yeah. Well, in general, like that's one of those things. It's like, not become Superman. It's just, make sure you're not going to sit there and kind of take that deterioration your body, because your body got kicked hard with that.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you were, even if
Mm-hmm.
you had all your shots,
Yes.
yeah, your body got hit hard.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of a lot.
Right.
Though I don't know, everyone we've talked to, and we just kind of keep circling back to this, has been sick recently.
They
Like,
have.
if
Well,
it's not a notice that, hey, we have, some variant,
mm-hmm.
it's like we have been, they have some god awful sinus infection from hell, like no
Mm-hmm.
fever,
Mm-hmm.
nothing that suggests, go get a mouth swab and get told you've, got the plague. Sorry, we're trying really hard to avoid the C word.
Yes.
Because the C word causes problems anymore, so we're trying to avoid it. But the plague, even though it's not that, it's just like everyone has some god awful version of like a normal thing.
Right.
Like, it's not like it is, but it's like next level. Like, I'm
Right.
6 weeks on with a sinus infection.
Mm-hmm.
That's just starting to clear up, and I hope it's clearing up. Like,
Yes.
I have to go back to the doctor one more time and be like, I need more pills. Like, try something stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, could you use Agent Orange on my sinuses? Could we try that?
Actually, I know what I
Um,
want to try. You just don't like it.
oh God, does this involve making the hobo bath water in the kitchen?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
Bactrician sulfate, 500 milligrams 3 times a day.
What?
Bactrician sulfate, 500 milligrams 3 times a day.
I don't know what that is.
That is a fat orange peel with white powder in it that will knock any infection out of your body, but it also clears out your body.
So basically, go lightly, but worse.
Yeah,
Mm.
but we'll be
Yeah,
done
I
with
don't
that
want to start
infection.
there. Like, I don't want to start.
We've already started with Z-Pack.
Well, we started with the Z Pack because that's a good like baseline.
Yeah, the candy.
It is. No, it's, well, I find it a good baseline. Like, if Z Pack doesn't knock it out,
Mm-hmm.
if your erythromycin doesn't knock it out, then it's something pretty serious going on.
Exactly. That's why I like bactrician sulfate. 500 milligrams, aka K-Flex, will also work well too.
Oh yeah, but see, no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've rarely, because K-Flex is what they use if you're allergic to um, antibiotics, right?
No, K-Flex is what
Or
they
the
use if if the bacteria is resistant to penicillin,
yeah,
or the
that's what I was
person
trying
is
to get at.
allergic to penicillin.
That's what I was trying to say. That's
Yeah.
couldn't get it out. I know what I was trying to say, but the word wouldn't come to me.
Right.
Like, like
But it's the
amoxicillin came to mind. All these other things came to mind. None of them were the
Mm-hmm.
right word.
Right.
So yeah, I've not gotten K-Flex often.
I
Like,
know
that's usually,
doctors don't want to use it because a lot of viruses are resistant to penicillin now, and the children of penicillin. So they're afraid that then it'll become resistant to the other antibiotic here. And I'm like, can we just stop fucking around? Just
Well,
nuke the shit.
I'm generally in the mindset of let's not start with the strongest item in the arsenal. Like, let's see what a normal one does. And if the
Mm-hmm.
normal doesn't knock it out, then all right.
Right.
We'll go with, like scorch and salt the earth.
Uh-huh.
Because anything else above that is basically a hospital admission, isn't it?
No.
Like, I didn't think they did much above K-Flex out of
Oh,
like.
Lord, there is a whole list of other antibiotics we can try and maintain
Well,
and
I know
enjoy
like there's
giving
a
you.
giant list of them. I'm just saying,
Right. I mean,
like in terms of levels, like you don't just go to the next door neighbor of K-Flex and go, well, let's try that and see what it does.
why
Like you
not?
go up a level, and I thought after K-Flex you had like there wasn't much before it was a hospital admission.
Oh,
Like they
Lord.
didn't do too many steps before it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
keep your ass in the hospital for this one.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could die. It's like,
You're only going
dude.
to die if I misgive it.
Well, and that's assuming like it's a bacterial thing. That's the other
Mm-hmm.
part of it. Like, because sometimes, I mean, it could be bacterial, it could be
Mm-hmm.
viral, or it could be fungal.
Right.
Like, those are your three big categories of things that can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not bacterial and it's not viral, then
Right.
something went haywire.
But no, there's K-Flex, there's Bexatracin, there's a lot stronger antibiotics that we could have fun with that
Before I
move
have
up.
to.
Yeah, before we even have to take you to the hospital.
No, I was trying to remember though. I didn't think there was much in between that they would do. Like generally speaking,
Oh, yeah.
like because I always think of it as like, if you're taking amoxicillin, that's like the doctor doesn't even think you're sick. Like Z-Pak, your doctor thinks you're sick, but this is like your baby aspirin.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll knock out most general things. Or as like one doctor put it to me, is I can write you a prescription for this and you'll be better in 7 days, or you can not take it and you'll be better in 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know which. Good luck.
Right. But no, there are a lot. There is over 100 different antibiotics out there.
Mhm.
Some of them I enjoy, some of them I'm like, yeah, that's not really useful. And some I'm like, yeah, you can bring me the gravity fred, you can bring it here, I can do the IV, and we'll just get done with this shit in about 7 hours.
Yeah.
No need for a damn hospital.
Hey, wait a minute. Now hold on. I didn't say medications you could administer at home. No. If I get a hospital bed and room service vacation, I want my hospital room service vacation.
You don't get either. One, you bought yourself a laptop. Most hospitals have Wi-Fi. Why would you need a vacation?
I need vacation.
No, you don't.
It's been
You
a
get a
long,
vacation
it's been
every
a long
fucking
plague.
Saturday.
Okay, it's been a long plague.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't we all benefit from a Craftmatic adjustable bed? Um,
But no, they've got Baxitracin, which I enjoy. I find it a lovely one. K-Flex we could be moving to. Zethromaxazine, it's a little bit of a problematical one, but fine. We can deal with that. The only other two that I think would even be necessary is lexaflexacin. That one would have to be IM. And yeah, 25 milligram milliliters. Oh, they actually make a tablet out of it now. Never mind. Wonderful.
yeah. Doesn't mean that's preferred method of administration.
And that just doesn't.
I'm just saying. They have cable. It's horrible cable, and it's a tiny screen, but they have cable.
You have a 65-inch screen and you have on-demand streaming.
Great, we'll take it with me.
No.
Why not?
Because there's no reason for you to go to the hospital. You're walking, breathing, and talking.
Well,
Drop an
I'm
IV
just
on you
saying.
and keep working.
Do you know how much trouble it's been to take a vacation during this plague? I need a plaguecation.
The only way you're getting a plaguecation is if you go in like Neil Lily X or something and you can get us a private island.
All right, then I revisit my conversation on Second Life. Get thee to the stallion place. Like,
Well,
go
that's
work for that
actually in
picture.
the news, and it's been in the news. I saw earlier.
Yeah, really, Brenda's like, I can see Joe dragging a 65-inch and computers into the hospital.
I have dragged computers into the hospital. And it was interesting. And it was really interesting because I had a dual experience. Okay, the first experience was with the invisible assistant, and we spent 30 days up at Ruby, and the nursing staff loved me, joyously me. The respiratory therapy stuff, not too much. They quickly learned that. But, this is, God, 10 years ago. So I'm walking in, I've got a duffel bag of his stuff, a duffel bag of my stuff, and 2 laptop bags. Totally freaked them out that I was able to work from the hospital on the hospital Wi-Fi and did not violate any patient care principles, but did remind them of patient care rights.
Well, yeah.
Fast forward 7 years. I walk in to take care of him. They don't even blink at me. They go, the Wi-Fi password is in the lovely folder over there. Enjoy your stay, sir, and let us know if we can be any help to you.
Yeah, there you go. But no, I mean, it is a big change in how we approach hospital environments.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really is. Though I will say it all does end up depending upon how good that hospital Wi-Fi actually is.
Right.
Because I've like, I will say when I was volunteering, I was kind of saddened by like how crap that hospital's Wi-Fi for, guests of the hospital was.
Mm-hmm.
That was, whew. I mean, you expect more.
Right.
Somehow you expect it, like I expected more.
Mm-hmm.
But no, after a lot of people had complained about it, I actually, made the effort to sign on to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually my phone had great reception, and like if I had a break at the desk, I could check messages or do whatever off of cellular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I preferred the cellular.
Yeah.
Like, the hospital Wi-Fi was even slower than what I was getting on like 3G.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's really sad. I was like, yeah, they didn't really make this a convenience tool. they
Well, after 1 week at Ruby, I had hardline in that hospital room.
I don't know. It's a yeah.
Yeah.
It can be a mess.
It can be.
Like, I've never gotten that. Like, I can to some degree understand the issues with that many people and that much internet usage.
Right.
I do. And no, at no point do I want the MRI machine having to wait a minute
Right.
to offload a medical record.
Right.
I get that part. But at the same time, it's like, oh, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the best you could do for patient / guest use.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ugh. Like, granted, that wasn't WVU. That was Princeton. And I'm just sitting
Well,
here going, that's the best you
again,
do?
WVUs took them over, so they may be
They
straightening
have.
that
They
out.
are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that was probably the big first. Like, I sincerely hope, that part of that, like, merger, acquisition, whatever the hell you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
the ever growing amoeba of WVU. I do hope it comes with better tech for that hospital, because, dear God, Princeton community, like, there are many lovely things I can say about them, but my God, those were some of the oldest computers I have seen in practical use.
Mm-hmm. So
Like, they
what's
weren't
this
even.
about a Starbucks worker having problems using the boyfriend's card or something?
Yeah, that was a fun one in TikTok land.
Okay.
So yeah, this was a moment. Um, so yeah, a TikToker did a video that she uploaded after she tried to use, her boyfriend's card at a Starbucks. Barista refused to let her use it. Actually threatened to keep the card and make him come
Mm-hmm.
get it.
Mm-hmm.
She effectively snatched it from the barista and basically did a blow up video about, like, how dare you.
Right.
I'm sitting there having a moment. I always get a little crunchy about using other people's cards. Um,
Well, see, here's the thing, and there's a problem with this story.
mhm.
I'm trying to think of where I would hand my card over to somebody. I don't think there's a place we go that I hand my card over to the cashier.
Not many.
That's where I'm like,
There's a couple of gas stations that sometimes have to run the card because their system on the front end won't do debit cards.
mm-hmm.
It'll do credit all day long, but if you need to run a debit card, they have to swipe it on the machine behind the counter.
Right. But I'm just thinking,
Mm-hmm.
when we go to Starbucks, drive through or out, the card goes just straight into the machine. We slide it in, we take the card out.
Not at the drive-thru.
Okay.
Yeah, not at the drive-thru. Because where's the machine?
Mm-hmm.
At the drive-thru.
They normally set it like out to me.
Oh, no, I never have that luck.
Yeah.
No. Usually they're like, just hand me the card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they'll hand you that remote pen pad, but they won't hand you not the one to put the card
Yeah,
in.
it's a little like silver thing. They just hand right out and you stick it and go. McDonald's has been the same way. Of course,
Yeah.
with McDonald's, I've gotten used to. I just app it and be done with it. You
Yeah,
buy me McDonald's all the time.
I know. I buy you McDonald's all the time. And on one hand, I get what she's saying, as it's like, it's a Starbucks order. I'm not trying to open a line of credit and purchase a home.
Right.
On the other hand, though, like, how does anyone in retail know?
Right.
Like, how do they know?
Right.
Because fundamentally, a lot of, if someone's card is taken in a theft,
Mm-hmm.
it's not all, let's go open a line of credit for a new home.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of, like, just standard, ordinary retail purchasing.
Right.
Granted, I understand the TikToker's argument that a lot of things could have been going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Because she makes the argument of, like, how do you know? How do you know that I'm not him? How do you know that I'm not trans? How do you know that I'm not a drag queen? How do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so granted,
And she
the
also
barista
makes
made some choices.
the larger point of that she's Hispanic. And would this barista be behaving the same way to the blonde white chicken Uggs?
All valid points. But at the same time, it is the annoying part of the world we
Mm-hmm.
live in, with everything tied to debit and credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
And on one hand, no, you don't want to make this harder for people.
Right.
Like, there's already enough, like, crap that happens, like the machines malfunction, your bank goes down, like, crap happens.
Mm-hmm.
And the daily struggle of trying to use payment cards for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Adding one more layer, seriously, please don't.
Well,
But at the same time, it's also exactly where in a lot of cases, we see fraudulent use.
Mhm.
You know,
But for Starbucks, please, $5.95 Frappuccino, please. Now we have some viewers, so I'm going to throw it to our viewers. Raise your hand if you've had your boyfriend's debit card for more than a month in your wallet, and you use it as directed, or with his permission or her permission.
or more importantly, do they even know until they need to use it? Well, I'm just talking about my Discover card over here. Like that. I swear to God, you find ways to pull that one out of my wallet to where I don't know it's missing until I'm like, I need my Discover card. Where the hell is my Discover card? Here you go.
You hand it back to me all the damn time. I don't have to ask for it. I don't have to go in there and get it. You hand it to me.
At this point, yes, because you end up usually disassembling my wallet and leaving the carnage everywhere.
We got each other joint accounts finally.
We did. And still, I never see my Discover card. Well, yeah, that's not true.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
You do normally return it to my wallet when there's 0 available balance or less.
No, it lives in my wallet when there's 0 available balance because I don't want you using it until at least I make a payment on it.
I can't complain. Like, he uses the card, but he is also the one that pays the on the balance on the card. So
Yeah.
I'm not upset. I find it funny most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I mean, most of the purchases I make are with the cashback bonus from him using and making payments on the card. So
Yeah.
how much can I complain?
Yeah,
As long as it stays
free bills.
Yeah, as long as it stays active.
It is very active.
No, I mean, as long as I have the most up-to-date card information on my Amazon account and can get my cashback bonus, I really don't need the card that often.
No, you don't. You don't need the card that often, honey. No, you don't need it that often. It's like my first Premiere. Do I need it that often? They live in my secondary wallet now, not my firstary wallet. We have lovely debit cards, and if I need to, I'll just go unthaw something in the freezer.
But no, it is kind of always interesting when it's like, oh yeah, get your Discover card out of my wallet before you go.
Mm-hmm.
Is an interesting sentence, I have to say.
Yeah, of course you're
it's a uniquely couples thing. Like, never have I ever had to be told, get your card out of my wallet before you go.
I've told multiple people that, dating, non-dating them.
Really? Who are you telling in a non-dating situation?
Mama Knight.
What?
Yeah, I used to carry her debit cards constantly.
I've talked to her about the wiseness of her decision making.
Well, that's why she doesn't make much decisions anymore.
Oh, that's just wrong. Of course, then again, that makes me question my decision making because I don't know. A little bit before this plague, I turned you loose at a damn, or somewhere in the middle of this plague. I think I turned you loose in a shopping mall in Charleston with my card. I joked that day about, well, I better go. I have left him unsupervised with the credit card.
And how much did I charge?
I don't know. I think it was like $600 and some.
No, I did not. You better get that straightened up real fast.
I swear to God, that was a day you spent, like, you went to Staples. I forget where all you went.
I went to Staples. Actually, I went to Office Max because Staples is an internet office center. I went to Books A Million. I went to Michael's. I ended up going to Target. And in the end of it, I spent like a whole $50.
Huh. I want to see the receipts.
I can show you the receipts, honey, because I have it in the ledger. If you want to see it, look at your Discover statement for September of last year.
Why do I get the feeling I've been told the wrong month?
Why do I get the feeling that you haven't looked at your Discover statement in 6 months?
Not really, no. I really don't. At this point, literally the only time I log in is because we needed to know, like, or like go make a payment. What, like, we needed to know something, or like go make a payment.
Mm-hmm. And that's rare because I normally go in and make the payments.
Oh, yeah, no, you need to guard your lighter with Aeson too, Brenda. It's not just your cards.
It depends on the lighter. I'm very picky about which lighters I take.
Uh-huh. He will convert all lighters. The only thing I have found that he will not convert is the plain color pack. Mostly. He'll take your pink.
Hey, Ashley, welcome to the table. Grab a cup of coffee. Let's dig on in.
But no, he'll take your pink lighter in a heartbeat. Your neon yellow, he'll take that. But if it's like a blue or a red or a purple or a black, a white, he won't touch a white lighter. Hardly.
Or
So,
a red one.
like, yeah.
I don't want shopping tickets or drug charges.
Yeah, like get the thin blue line pack at like Walmart, you know, red, white, blue, black. That pack. He won't take those.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else, like, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone. It's gone. Never gonna see it again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right, so this is another fun topic.
Oh, the bad luck of lighters?
No.
Sorry, we had a comment. My hubby buys red ones because his friends think they are bad luck.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so
That's just gonna shoot right on.
Yes, I am. What two jobs are fine on their own, but strange if you work both? And I wanted to expand this. Strange if the couple works both.
Ooh, that's a good one. But no, now this comes from Reddit. It was a question asked. So to get the juices flowing, why don't we go through the 31 that Redditors came up with?
Go for it.
Working as a chemist and moonshine delivery, butcher and gravedigger, casino manager and debt consolidation specialist, paramedic and mortician, antique jewelry dealer and funeral director, plastic surgeon and psychiatrist, working in a porn store at night, driving an ice cream truck by day, chemistry teacher and car wash owner, dentist and candy seller, barber and meat pie shop owner, coroner and sausage maker, police constable and court judge, doctor and funeral parlor owner. My favorite, like, Ashley, you got a little premature because I think you'll like this one more. Bartender and substance abuse counselor. Blood splatter analyst and employee at fishing supply store. Ambulance driver and mortician service.
Mm-hmm.
Pilot and YouTube prankster. ventriloquist and psychiatrist, podiatrist and cheesemaker, pest control and restaurant worker, electronic billboard owner and collision repair shop manager, Samsung and Apple employee, selling guns and medical supplies, garbage company and Italian restaurant,
lingerie seller and kindergarten teacher, president and actor.
We've had a few of those. It doesn't work out well.
No.
Child psychologist and military recruiter,
Financial advisor and debt collector,
skydiving instructor and life insurance salesperson.
You're going to have to read the next one.
Sommelier and stay-at-home mom.
What is a sommelier?
The wine specialist in a...
How is that weird?
Really?
Yeah.
The number of wine moms.
There are Facebook groups dedicated to it. Like, they've even got their own subscription service now.
McDonald's employee and Burger King employee.
Yeah.
Number 31.
For the weekend.
For the win. Wedding planner and divorce lawyer. Pronunciation Somyane. Very likely I'm if my wine's not in a box.
Please, honey, you've had a bottle of wine in the refrigerator for 2 years. I think we're going to have it as a limited edition, and it's going to probably serve 5.
It's not in a box. What do
Of
you want
course
me to do
it's
with
not
it?
in a box. It has a cork and everything. It's a real wine.
I know. It's too real. I need juice boxes.
I don't know. I think that, we see the mechanic in the doctors and the doctors in the mechanicus.
Of course, now this all reminds me of the wonderful joke about the OBGYN mechanic who took everything apart through the tailpipe.
Okay.
It's a great joke. It really is. Oh, and the mother-in-law is watching with us. Hi!
Hi. But no, because we get weird. I get weird looks all the time. And I do mean weird looks because, I'm both techie, I serve in a technological evaluation role, a life coach in a role. And then at the same time, I serve as, a psychic. So it's like, why are y'all doing a beta test in a Mercury in retrograde? And corporate America looks at me and goes, what do you mean?
More importantly, you're running us. Do you realize that while running your psychic business, you're encouraging your advisors to give advice, and their current advice is, it's Mercury in retrograde. Don't start anything new.
Don't sign any contracts. Back up your technology. Do not launch any products.
Don't install new software.
Don't install new software. Don't make major investments in technology until after Jupiter comes out of retrograde.
But then,
right.
All right. I think you've had a couple of questions come in.
I have.
Yeah. So I believe this is. Let me know when you're ready.
Give me a minute to warm up the cards. Let's talk about the snakes first.
Oh my gosh, you sent that one. I still haven't had a chance to read that, mostly because I don't think I wanted to. So a snake expert from North Carolina removed 124 snakes in total from the Charles County home where David Ritston was found deceased Wednesday night. The inventory included a highly venomous black mamba, cobras, and rattlesnakes. County spokesperson Jennifer Harris said they needed outside assistance. We don't have that type of expertise at our own animal shelter, so that's why we contacted people who would know how to help us remove the animals. So how Riston died is officially still under investigation, but multiple sources tell 7 News there was evidence of a snake bite.
I call Black Mamba.
7 News has learned Riston had a state-issued permit to own some of his snakes, but not the venomous ones. Yeah.
Yeah, because cobras can be pretty tame as long as you keep them fed. They get a little grumpy when they aren't. But black mambas are bitches.
Oh, yeah. So this all occurred in Maryland. They had North Carolina experts come up. So on that count, Maryland law is clear. A person may not possess a long list of wild animals, which includes poisonous snakes. It's illegal because they can kill you, so those laws are in place to keep people safe. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, those snakes have been removed and taken to organizations with proper permits.
And proper care, which Maryland does not have.
And the pièce de résistance for this article, Charles County Animal Control told multiple callers seeking the snakes they are not available for adoption. Part of me is like, should I be happy that's a problem?
Yes.
That multiple people are like, oh, come here.
Yes. I mean, personally, I would enjoy having a few.
No. No. Then I'm buying a flamethrower. That's just so I can sleep peacefully at night, and God forbid anything move in my direction that might make me think snake.
They're beautiful animals. You know, we could handle a lot of problems with a couple king cobras.
No.
Oh, why not?
No, because no.
Okay.
Alrighty, so ready for questions now?
Yes.
Are the cards warmed up?
Yes.
Need to roast them over a flamethrower first?
No, their energy's just fine. Let's go.
So I believe this one is an Ashley mother-in-law question. Will 92971, will Megamind and I spend more time when Megamind retires?
Yes, I feel you will, but I still think he's an idiot.
All right. And sorry. Still good there?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So Ashley 82696, should I try to find the government job, or should I stick to claims with CVS?
I'd keep finding a government job. I'd find a good government job. CVS is cute, but honey, I like 20 years and I'm retired.
Ooh, back to the mother-in-law. Is Megamind still interested in marriage?
Yes, but I don't think you should be.
Oh, and hi, Kelly. Oh, good one from Shannon. Not gonna lie, my cousins were probably among the callers.
I was among the callers. They are not up for adoption.
No.
What? Two king cobras would be lovely guard dogs.
And Ashley says thank you very much from both of them.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
I think you should go into the IRS. claim specialist sounds lovely.
And apparently needed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the IRS is struggling.
Right.
Like, they're really, really struggling.
So there was a major problem in Pennsylvania. This week has been a week for animals, I'm telling you, in the news.
124 snakes. Now we're going after 100 monkeys.
Yes, in car accident.
Poor monkeys.
Yes. Several monkeys scampered away from the crash scene Friday night in Pennsylvania, leading to a difficult search. As of Saturday morning, the search had finally came to an end. The monkeys climbed along trees in Pennsylvania's highways. Is just about the last thing you'd expect to see, especially in the winter. But they're exactly what happened in the wooded area near Danville on Route 54, meeting Interstate 80, about 180 miles from north of Philadelphia. Monkeys were caged inside the enclosed trailer when Pennsylvania State Police said the truck driver turned in front of oncoming dump truck.
Ooh.
The next thing,
George of the jungle, watch out for that tree.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it was watch out for the dump truck, but you know.
Yep.
Some things just
Right.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, Fallon stopped and said to bystanders, says cats were inside those crates. They had all this little green cloth over, so it peeled. So I peeled it back, stuck my finger in there, and it's a monkey. So I was shocked. Walked over to the guy and was like, "They aren't cats. They are monkeys." He goes, "They are." I'm like, "They're monkeys," explained Fallon. Not just any monkeys. You're going to have to take them from there.
Okay, so there were 100 macaque monkeys from Africa headed to a lab in Missouri for testing. It was at one point it was thought 4 monkeys had escaped, but it was actually 3. So for being hit by a dump truck, the actual, that wasn't bad. Like,
right.
Lost 3 monkeys out of like 100.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 were found Friday night. One was still 2 monkeys were found Friday night and put down, but 1 was still on the loose, according to state police tweets Saturday morning. By early Saturday evening, troopers indicated the last one was located and recovered.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness, that is a lot of monkeying around.
Mm-hmm.
Really is. It's a lot of monkeying around. Oh yeah.
But apparently they were taking local volunteers to look for these little guys.
Yeah. Well, and of course PETA had to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, released a statement Saturday encouraging the scientific community not to transport monkeys from other countries into the United States and to stop experimentation on them in laboratories. The statement read in part, "Importing monkeys and tormenting them in laboratories is likely to cause more human illness than experimenting on them will ever prevent." Oh, yeah. So Fallon, the person who stuck their finger into the monkey cage and got bit, is thankful she is not experiencing any symptoms, but if she does, she was told she must notify the health department.
Right, because these monkeys were being probably tested for rabies and other diseases.
Well, and that's where the story could be a little potentially confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Because were these monkeys being imported for use in testing? Or were these monkeys being transported
for testing
to be tested for some other reason?
Yeah.
Like something had already happened to them.
Well, it's
or
saying to be
potentially.
tested.
I know, but like that's a weird. Like I could see that being like either way.
Right. And for them to instantly put them down, not try to preserve them or recover
Well,
them.
they
I'm
put 2 down and recovered 1.
right. That's what I'm saying. But for them to put them down, I'm assuming that that is because it was suspected. Either that or they were badly damaged. But these monkeys can actually
Hmm.
put up with the winter because these are the same monkeys that live in India and also in the Himalayas. I was looking this up. Um, and these guys are pretty awesome little beings. So, they say, oh, they've only lost 4. They didn't know they were hauling monkeys to begin with. So we'll see if they lost more than 4. Like, I want a final count at the laboratory.
Well, I would say they're getting that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll point out, Kelly, I think that's going to fall into a category of we're going to need a date of birth for that one. So if you can drop a date of birth, I can get that question to him.
Okay, I'm glad you're seeing it because I'm not.
Oh, okay. It was 10:18 p.m.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah. Like that seems a little like it's right there and it's basically asking for a reading.
Yeah, I need a birthday, Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we have to make the lawyers happy. Make sure you're over the age of 18. Thank you, Kelly.
All
All
right.
right.
So Kelly, December 5th, 1988. Would I be successful in being an affiliate marketer?
Okay, I'm gonna give you the psychic approach, and then I'm gonna talk about the other side of that. Oh,
Hey, no monkey business.
I ain't doing no damn monkey business. I think you would be successful at it. I think you have to use products you like. You have to talk about the products the way you like to talk about them. But looking at it, it'll be a lot of managing things because we have the 3 of Pentacles rolling on here. You're likable. You have a good attention span. People like you there, so that will be profitable. And then, of course, followed up with the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Read your contracts carefully. Make sure you're not exclusive. All right, so there is the psychic side of it. Yes, you'll be successful. It'll take you about 1.5 years to build your following, which will be fine. The other non-psychic side of that says, oh, definitely. Go out, use your products, film your videos, talk about it, find your niche, carve out your market, and you'll do fine with it. Okay. All right.
And
So,
speaking of monkeys, Ashley had to go put down baby Guess.
you leave baby Guess alone. He doesn't need to go to sleep. It's still early. It's 10:30.
I know. Well, no, 10:30. That's a baby. Babies go down by now.
No, Lord, no. By now they've done had their second bottle and rolled around.
Ah, no.
Yeah.
No. Ah. But no. Little babies. They're such fun little monkeys.
Yes, they are.
They are. They're so fun.
Mm-hmm.
They just monkey around all day.
Mm-hmm.
They eat bananas. They're basically little monkeys.
Well, they eat fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah. We got to see him take these first steps earlier this week. For those that are in the barista chat, we got to enjoy watching Baby Guess walk.
Yes. So cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah. Can you believe that, we were counting down his coming into this world?
I know, right? Like, I think there were a couple of nights we thought that, like, we were going to be doing, like, getting play-by-play of the birth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we really did. We thought mid-show is going to be like, and my water just broke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kept expecting it, like, at any point. I was like, and now live from the... No. We'll get taken.
All right. So, I want to talk Britney Spears and the stuff going on there.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, there's some stuff.
Oh.
Of course, we were back in court last week. Of course, the judge has terminated the conservatorship. She is officially free. They had 7 days to transfer money and assets over to her or her business manager's system. But dang, tracking down what he has done with almost $30 million over 13 years is going to be difficult. Now, her lawyer has hired a former FBI complainant.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Right.
So, oh, and sorry, I don't think I've seen that one come through.
Possibly not. I can bring it up for you.
Okay. Otherwise, I mean, I figure you're gonna handle it, but
No.
I'm just sitting here like, really? Like, what's that about?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm in general. And Kelly's very welcome. But yeah.
All right, sending you over from BuzzFeed.
Okay. There it is.
Yeah.
Like I love when we were on air and I have to figure out like where's it gonna come from? Where's it gonna come from?
I always go straight to private chat because it's quicker and easier.
Wow. So he filed to unseal her medical records and claimed the public has the right to know the truth.
Uh-huh.
What the hell?
Yeah, wanted her.
No.
Yeah.
It's a real simple answer on that one. No, the public has no right to know jack shit about her medical records.
Well, and Britney had to go in and come up with a plan because he had took money out of the trust and borrowed money from this and from this. I mean, just all around. So she had to come up with a new plan on what to do with her money. They had to close out the trust that he had started because he had put things in that trust that would have left him in control of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even after it was turned back to Britney, because a trust is separate. It's very common with people with a lot of money to put their money into a trust and let the trust handle the assets and everything. But anyhow, yeah, he wanted her transition plan to be public record.
Yeah. Well, and to unseal her medical records. I mean, that's just
right.
Like, I know that her medical records had to have been a part of this.
Right.
And I am more than comfortable that after those have been scrutinized by countless numbers of people, both on her side, on her father's side, and as part of like court filings and everything else. That's all the like medical voyeurism one should have to tolerate. Because there's no doubt those came into question to make the determination, which fundamentally, what else do we need to know?
Right.
What else does anyone need to know other than her situation, whatever it is, does not rise to the need for a conservatorship.
Right.
Does not rise to that need.
Right.
Is there anything else anyone thinks they need to know, that they ought to know, that the public is entitled to know?
Yeah, when's her next tour? When's her next CD coming out? And when is the book coming out? Like, I want the book. This is a book I'll actually go and spend my money on.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the medical records, though. What else do you need to know about that? Like,
nothing.
Zip, zero, nada, no. No one should have that kind of scrutiny of their personal medical information. No.
Right.
That's
ridiculous. You're getting drops.
Oh, I'm getting drops.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry I'm all droppy. But, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
then we have on Team Con, Jamie Lynn Spears releasing a new book defaming Britney, and she's had to already, point her lawyer at her and go, tell her to shut up. You better tell her to shut up.
Yeah. No, I don't like. He's already made enough money off of her. And wrongly made enough money off of her.
And Jamie Lynn has too. Jamie Lynn is right up in that earnings capital too, through her husband, who was supposedly filming a cooking show for Daddy.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying there's no way no way.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, and again, this all kind of sounds like very much trying to spin this situation,
Mm-hmm.
and control the narrative.
Right.
So like everything you need to know about her family
Mm-hmm.
is that, like, I don't know, these are kind of signs of narcissistic abuse.
Right.
Like, if you have to control the narrative, if you have to get in front of it, if you have to spin it,
Mm-hmm.
even though the bigger news item is
Mm-hmm.
a court has already found everything you've done to be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, they haven't yet. They haven't
Well,
yet. It's got to go to criminal. It's got to go to the criminal side. And Judge Penny has already said that the 12th accounting will go out of her department into the criminal side to look into.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's at least good. But now Brittany's going to have to defend herself against this book of Jamie Lynn Spears. And I find it interesting that Jamie Lynn's book is dropping the same time as the conservatorship is ending.
Yeah.
And that one of the statements they used to hold against Brittany is, we'll just tell your fans everything in your medical file.
At this point, I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they really have the power they think they have at this point.
Nope.
Like, like, if it weren't for this
Mm-hmm.
lawsuit over the conservatorship,
Right.
I think it would be they would have damaging power.
Mm-hmm.
But as public as this whole thing has been, and as
Mm-hmm.
much as we've seen, like, what else can you call it? They abused her and milked her like a cow.
Right.
Are you really, like, what fan, what person at this point that's actually a fan
Mm-hmm.
of Britney's is gonna buy that book to start with and then believe anything in it
Mm-hmm.
as any, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really see that. I again, but not for this lawsuit, I
Mm-hmm.
think it would be like the mommy dearest of, like, tell-alls.
Mm-hmm.
But after this,
Yeah.
like, you're like, I don't know why a publisher wasted the paper.
Well, I
Why?
think the publisher, here's the interesting thing. The person that got the book deal for them is the same business manager that worked Britney Spears 18 hours a day
Mm-hmm.
for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Lou Taylor, who is refusing to provide business records to Britney Spears' lawyer
Yeah.
about how much they actually made off Britney.
Yeah, this is where I'm at. Is,
Yeah.
like, I'm just trying to, like, take one of what had to have been the most reputation damaging books
Mm-hmm.
in history, Mommy Dearest,
Mm-hmm.
and then imagine it, like, if Joan Crawford had already, like, gone to court, shown Christina to be just this horrible human
Mm-hmm.
who had done horrible, countless things to her,
Right.
and then Christina tried to write this book and get it published.
Right.
I don't think it would have hit.
Right.
Like, the only thing that allowed that book to really be, like, a bestseller, a, national thing,
Mm-hmm.
in an international thing, and have so much power was the fact that, like, it came first,
Mm-hmm.
and there was no arguing it.
Right. But see, that's not the book we want. Well, the book we want is Britney's story. Really,
Okay.
from Britney. That's the book we want. That's the story we want. We want Team Con. I want to see them claw back every penny that Team Con has made, every penny that has gone out of that poor woman's accounts faster than, grease lightning. But the laws of justice don't work that well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll take time.
it'll
And
take time, but we're
they're
in the home
coming.
stretch now. The big battle's done. Now, another one of our pop icons is not so much in that stretch.
Okay.
Christina Aguilera is also in a conservatorship.
What?
Yeah, she was placed in a conservatorship.
Okay, so is this like after, like, is there going to be like an after Britney movement of like we find out how many stars are in this
Right.
fucked up situation,
Right.
and like it becomes a watershed, and like everyone's going to be like popping up with, yeah, I'm in the same fucked up boat.
Right.
Help me too. Like hi,
Right.
there's a club of us.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the kids from the 90s. I mean, boys of the, what is it? What is it? Boys to Men. There was a lot of the 90s pop stars that got stuck in conservatorships around 2000, 2001.
Yeah, it sounds like they all had like one attorney at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Or one person influenced a lot of this. Like,
Right.
here's how you like keep control of your child star
Right.
forever.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just do this.
Right. Miley Cyrus is currently in a conservatorship.
Oh dear God. I mean, to some degree, it may not. It doesn't have to be a horrible thing.
Right.
And it could very much benefit the celebrity,
right,
but not when it's being utilized to just like, here's the golden calf,
right,
and we're gonna milk the fuck out of it,
right,
which fundamentally is where this all went wrong.
Right. And many people that were put in conservatorships are put with professional conservators that pay the bills, that respond and do what they're supposed to, much like a business manager, but with a little extra influence.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we hit $70 million. I think I'm going to be hiring me a real business manager or two.
Yeah, but not for. But I don't think you would be wanting a conservatorship. You want some trusts.
Oh yeah.
Like, no. We don't have that much money. We have control of a trust that has that much money.
Yeah.
Like, that's not,
Mm-hmm.
No,
Right.
we don't have that kind of money ever.
Right. But what's
and,
interesting to me is the amount of people that TeamCon pushed away.
Mm-hmm.
And this organizational of conservatorships in California, I think that it's very different. I think that it's been very misused. I think the federal government needs to get on this, stop whining over who's doing what with our damn taxes, and get to making changes for real people.
Oh, excuse me.
When someone can make $60 million,
mm-hmm.
when someone can make more than that off their back, there's a problem. That's internal slavery. And the last time I checked, Lincoln, and it took a while, but got rid of it in this country.
Yeah. Like, it's not, none of this. Stop the, what? I'm curious when it, like, actually popped in, stop the whining. What?
Oh, I think that is about, the Team Con.
Oh yeah. Well, they've been very whiny throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, it's been such a problem. Really, you're getting paid more to be her conservator, and let's just call it what it is, slave master, than what most CEOs are being paid.
Well, and just what's gotten me through all this is the relativity of it.
Mm-hmm.
is that, again, and I've said this before on the show, I'm very much not a fan of, managing an estate, working through someone's, will and estate even. I don't think you should do that at personal cost.
Mm-hmm.
I just think your cost has to remain reasonable
Mm-hmm.
to, like, what are we talking about here? And you've got to avoid
Mm-hmm.
heavily any appearance that you're basically abusing that to enrich yourself.
Right.
And I don't think anyone can look at this conservatorship and say, oh, well, he practically did an act of charity.
Yeah. An act of charity in my
Bullshit.
house.
Yeah, bullshit. Like, no, this was the family business, was, milk the cow.
Right.
I mean, fundamentally, like, I hate referring to her that way, but there's no other,
Well, considering
like, that's
as
what
a
they did.
child, yeah, well, considering as a child, i.e., under the age of 18, Britney Spears paid off all the family debt, paid all the bills. He hadn't held a job since then.
Mm-hmm.
Took him out of 2 bankruptcies. Not 1, 2.
And to some degree, like, here's my thing. Again, I could understand that the level of financial concerns that she has,
Mm-hmm.
in addition to, like, her healthcare concerns and all this, could equate out to a full-time job.
Right.
I'm just going, I still don't see how you call it reasonable.
Right.
To be at this level.
Right.
Of like asset control, asset manipulation, self-dealing, like sweetheart deals. Like, none of this looks reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't seem like just compensation for the amount of effort he had to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, I could understand it's a full-time job and maybe even worth 6 figures a year.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that if he had an earnings potential, or, and being nice, if he had a legitimate earnings potential of X and had to forego that to take care of all of this for her, and arguably it could be a full-time job.
Right.
I can understand being, equally compensated. I think he shot well past that.
Well, I have a question for you, because you're coming from a family of construction. What does the average construction foreman earn?
Oh, at this point, I don't even remember. I do know that, like, here's the terms I can put it into. I know that Dad used to always talk about on what he made per hour was technically less than what he paid employees per hour. But you have to remember those employees didn't work 12 months a year. Dad got paid 12 months a year. But his guys technically made more per hour than he did. But he made more per year.
Right. Well, according to Money at USA Today, $37,890 is the average salary for a construction worker.
Well, that's for a construction worker, but that would also include the reduced. Let's look at it a different way. So, assuming California.
Well, no, Louisiana.
But fundamentally, he would have moved to California. Like, I'm assuming, haven't they at this point?
No, he was still in Louisiana.
I thought she lived in Malibu. Not talking necessarily before her career. I'm talking about
before the conservatorship. He lived in Louisiana.
I know, but I'm saying there was an opportunity there.
Okay.
I'm looking at it as, if she primarily lives in California,
Okay.
I would at least go ahead and look at
Okay.
it, because he has to live in California to take care of the conservatorship.
Right.
So what are like, where is that at?
Right.
So field superintendent construction in California is 57 to 140,000 a year. Senior construction superintendent is 81 to 200,000 a year. I say take the top end of both of those and split the difference.
Okay.
So the difference is 60,000, so 170,000 a year.
Okay.
Again, that's where I was
Times
at.
13.
California
Times 13.
times 13 years, you're still talking a little over $1 million.
Not
Like,
6 million.
Yeah, not well, and that's just like one deal.
Exactly. That's just one part of this big pie.
One
Okay.
part of it.
And then what he told the court was he was a what are those people that
Sorry, I got that wrong. 2.21 million. So 2,210,000 would have been a reasonable 13-year payout.
Right.
And again, I mean, 13 years is a long time.
Right.
Like, you can make a lot of money in 13 years.
Right.
At 170,000 a year, which if he had to live in California, I think we're all on the same page. California is expensive to live in, especially nice California.
Right. Well, and then he told the court originally that he was a oh, help me here. You've thrown a fancy party, you don't want to cook for it, you hire a
Caterer.
See what the average how much a caterer makes in California.
Oh, that's even worse. Like, that wouldn't have been to his benefit. If you take the top end of 40 to 77,000 and 32 to 120,000, so that's 77. If you take the top end, 77 to 120,000. Oh God. So let's see. So 50, 25 over that would be 102,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like somewhere around there.
Well, we'll go 102.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was doing quick math.
Right.
So I got that probably a little off. Like, let's just call it 100,000. Again, still six figure. And that would be 1.3 million in 13 years. Like, and again, that's well paid. Again, giving someone the benefit of the doubt that they are giving up a career in which they have a reasonable potential to, at their top end, make decent money.
Right.
I can see that over 13 years in being paid to give that up.
Right.
Like, again, he shouldn't have to go into suffering.
Right.
To manage her finances.
Right.
And I can see it being a full-time job.
Right.
Like, it's a complicated bit of machinery to manage. Like, this is why there's like a whole firm.
Right.
But it's still, if he's doing that as well as managing her health care and all of this. No, I don't think he nor anyone else, like, I think every caregiver should be getting full-time pay for the career they gave up.
Right. So those are his two careers of record.
Yeah. So going with the one that has the better compensation, the one he could make more money
Right.
at in California. Yeah, that works out to like $170,000 a year.
Right.
On the top end, splitting the difference between two sites that had high numbers. Like,
Right.
that would still fall in the realm of reasonable. I could see you convincing a court that this is a
Right.
reasonable amount of pay,
Mm-hmm.
giving his work history.
Right.
That if this is what he was doing, if this is where he was,
Right.
this would, in California,
Right.
because he has to relocate,
Right.
this would be an equivalency.
Right.
All of this would seem more than reasonable.
Right.
Like, yeah, he probably gets a little extra and a lot of job security. But, it's not like Britney comes with a health insurance plan or a 401k or a dental plan.
Yeah, he did.
Well, just saying.
He got full benefits, like better benefits than you ever, because he got to choose them.
Well, true. Okay, fair point. So yeah, the Britney Corporation did come with benefits. I wasn't thinking that one through, but still.
The Britney Corporation came with a fully paid house, a fully paid office, a fully leased car, which I'm really upset that the news media hasn't shown that car being returned to Britney. Like, where are you, paparazzi? You'll go cover her at fucking Subway and get in Starbucks, but you can't go and show Jamie Spears' car being repossessed by Britney. Come on, show up and pay it. Let's see him evacuated from her house off to his little RV that was made for cooking and cruising.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot there. But no, again, I don't think he should suffer to have managed this conservatorship. But I think it becomes very clear when you start breaking down the numbers. Like, he shot well past that.
Right.
Like, he way overshot reasonable.
Right.
Because, I mean, I'm sitting here calculating reasonable.
Right.
And reasonable is around 2.2 million.
Right.
That would have been reasonable compensation for the same period if he had still continued to work and adjusting for the fact that, he's had to move. Like, because quite frankly, the money you make in Louisiana is probably a pittance compared to California. Because cost of living is so high, it does push.
Right. But no, she's been funding the whole family, including Lynn Spears, including, Jamie Lynn Spears, and then, of course, James Spears. Or as I love how Emily Baker refers to him, Yeeted Spears.
Yeeted Spears?
Yeeted
Spears. Oh, but no. And again, I can even make allowances for, again, this is complicated. There's a lot of property. There are a lot of there's a lot of need for a lot of people.
Right.
And okay, so fine if you want to, treat this as the family business. Because who should you be able to trust more than family?
Never trust family.
Well, I'm just saying in this situation it was a bad choice, but
no, never trust family.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I just like Aeson Rule 27. Never trust family with money or business. They'll fuck it up.
But I'm saying though, there's a lot of family operated businesses. It's not unreasonable to be like, I have a ne'er-do-well brother. You know what? And I'm gonna just give him a job. It's not a particularly hard job. Floor. Well, but go manage this property.
Go sweep the floor.
It's a legitimate job. It's like it was a decent piece of property, as I understand it. This would be no small feat to be caretaker of this property. Be reasonable with it. Here is a reasonable compensation for doing it. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up too bad. I I can see that. But again, this was a situation where like reasonable leapt out a window. Like never has any of the things that he did been reasonable. Like I don't think he's ever going to be able to and sorry guys, I'm having to clean my glasses. They're driving me crazy. I don't think at any point in this are they going to be able to defend what they've done as reasonable.
Right.
Like it really strains when you sit there and start looking at all the numbers and you start thinking about what people are doing. It like it's not narrow. It's not, well, okay, it might have been a little excessive, but okay.
Give me a minute.
You know, this is like flat out like, no, you abuse the hell out of this.
Okay. Well, let me bring this up here because I just went and got it.
Okay.
Let me share screen. Windows. Here we go. Here's the house. $259,000 worth of upkeep in a year.
Okay.
Where? That's the realtor's property that he put it up for sale and sold it.
Okay, but bigger question is
Mm-hmm.
how much property is attached? Like, what else is there?
It is outside the massive 1.87 acreage lot of 2-car garage, two large metal storage buildings, and a detached studio space that looks ran down. Above looks a bit worn. That the Spears family predominantly operated for many years as a local gym known as Total Fitness by Jamie. Like, we have other images. Actually, I'll just bring up the article.
Okay. Yeah. Like I'm just trying to sit here and process it. Like
And for our listeners, we're looking at a house that I'd say is maybe 107. Oh, it sold for $275,000. This whole property.
Okay, and the upkeep was 250 something a year.
Yeah, 259,000 is what they paid to do the upkeep. We're not looking at granite countertops here. We are looking at Formica countertops, mixed matched appliances.
Yeah.
This looks like a
gym.
It's a terrible gym. Like, it's run down. The ceiling panels are down. The floor needs recovered.
Yeah.
There's nothing big in the backyard. There is no pool. There is no nothing.
Now, that's the property he sold off because of taxes, right?
This is the property that he paid the brother-in-law $259,000 to maintain for 1 year, and sold off for taxes of $52 to a sub-company of his.
Yeah, see, no.
This bedroom's smaller than our bedroom.
It might be about the same size. Actually, that looks slightly bigger. It's, I think, the around the room shelving. That always makes a space look small.
Right.
Like, side note, for anyone out there thinking about doing that shelving around a room just shrinks the space. But no, this
living room,
decently upper middle class housing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, it shouldn't be $250,000 a year in upkeep.
Right.
Like, it doesn't. Like, no.
That's the master bedroom. That is a full-size bed, not a king.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like they gave up a lot of that room for a ensuite bathroom.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah,
the reason I say that is this is a picture in that room from the from 92, showing that the door here only fits a 3-drawer dresser.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying this room here much smaller than ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but no, I mean, total square footage on the house is bigger than ours. And yeah, but no, if the house is worth 270,
Right.
like that's what you can sell it in this market.
Right.
It is not worth 250 to maintain per year.
No.
Like that's not reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's what I'm saying is like I keep trying to go through this and go, okay, but what would have been reasonable? Because I think that's an important part of it is you can easily look at the total numbers or like 1 year snapshot and be like, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the realities? What, but when you keep like, we kind of keep going through this one and it's like, see, I can't find the reasonable.
Well, give me a minute. I'll tell you what a reasonable house in Kentwood is.
Well, I mean, it's 1.87 acres. I mean, that's a big lot, but it's not that big.
For sale, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's one more bedroom in this house. 3,000 square foot, 2-acre lot in Kentwood goes for $245,000 just down the street.
Yeah.
Just down the street, people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just trying to process, like, I don't think anyone's ever gonna figure it out, like how and I think that's also a big part of the problem is I don't think anyone has a clue how the hell they came up with these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think anyone actually sat down and thought it out.
Right.
Like, there was never, like, this feels like you gave someone money and then justified it later.
Well, what this turns out to be is that they were paying this dude to maintain this house and to take care of the warehouses for cooking, cruising, and chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And to retrofit an RV to be cooking, cruising, and chaosing.
Mm-hmm.
It was
but
a
paying
used
it
tour
all
van.
out of, yeah, but they're paying all of this out of
Britney's account.
Right.
Right.
But at the same time, like, it's just the struggle to sit there and try to figure out where the numbers came from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you started to try to do this
I think it's retro accounting.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Is they gave people money first and then tried to justify it after. Right. Because no one sat down from the beginning and said, okay, what's a reasonable amount to pay someone to manage this property?
Right.
And okay, you want to give that to your brother? That's awesome. Oh, and we're going to, get him on this other business, separate account. We'll give him money to do this other thing. Again, that's a reasonable, logical, intelligent way to manage it. Like, and people do this all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you can have one person working for multiple corporations doing multiple tasks for you.
Right.
And yeah, okay, fine. He lives on property or near enough to property. Free house, yay. And manage the house. Okay, all of those can be reasonable. But when you start doing the accounting, you need to be very, very, very careful.
Well, not only that, but
very dangerous.
Right, and I think I think Britney has made it clear, and Rosengard has made it very clear. The gravy train has stopped.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the bigger point.
Right.
Is that this is exactly what it turns into when you don't sit down and think it through, make your choices, be intelligent. Right. Because, no, otherwise, this is what you end up with.
Right.
Is good luck defending it later. You pulled numbers out of your ass. There's no way to defend that.
Well, you pulled numbers not out of your ass, but you pulled numbers out of your check registry and tried to decide what you really was paying, what you paid for through the Britney account, instead of what you really paid for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
you can,
and realistically, it wouldn't even matter like the truth of it if the numbers had been reasonable to begin with.
right.
Like if someone could arguably look through here and go, look, we paid his or her brother like $30,000 a year to take care of the property.
Right.
I
And
mean,
run the gym. I could
and
see that
run the
if the gym was still active. This was a derelict building. It'd be a great Aeson Knight office, but it's a derelict building.
yeah. And again, you could argue that there were, extenuating circumstances, whatever, like, but 30,000 a year, I don't think anyone would have given a whole lot of grief over that.
Right.
Like, it would have been a little excessive, but,
Yeah.
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 And then run the rest out of the appropriate businesses for the thing he was doing. You wouldn't have had a problem. I don't think you would have gotten anything more than like slapped on the wrist and told you kind of effed up there.
Right, but a professional conservator, which is what should have been put in place many years ago, would have hired people for real stuff and to do things like maintain the home and to like they're finding accounts that he opened for Britney, dropped money in and never used.
Yeah.
Just parked money there.
Yeah. It really, like, the more they dig into it, the more elements added, the more obvious it is this was all about milking it for everything you could get out of it.
Right.
And good luck tying it all back up and getting all the money back where it needs to be and properly
having to go through document after document. She owns about 26 different companies, and they're having to go through and review that company and see what it is. See if it's a legit company, if it's a tax shield, or if it's a company Jamie has created. And the minute those products that are owned by that copyright are used, he gets paid for.
Right. Well, and again, that's kind of where I'm at, is all of this was, like, you can see multiple elements where this isn't an accident.
Right.
This isn't just like, unfortunately, he was a poor manager of her finances and made many, many, many mistakes. No. These are deliberate, or looking like deliberate, calculated acts that are intended to create a shell game, where you're pulling money here and you're creating a business over here, and then you're moving product over here, and you're literally going, good luck fucking figuring it out if you ever decide to kill this, because and it may very well work out that the best they can do is the best they can do, and he still walks away.
Yeah.
With potentially millions, because prove it.
Right.
Figure it out. Figure out what he did and where he put it and how he stashed it and what name it's under and what business it's under and how he moved the assets to get there. Right. Like and sometimes pulling the threads of a forensic accounting, which is what is going to happen.
Well, it's what's happening.
Like, you can only pull the thread so far before it's like, prove it.
Right.
Like, you know what he was trying to do. And it's obvious he has done it. But prove it. How do you sit here and, like, again, it's money laundering.
Oh, see, and that's what he's probably going to get is RICO charges. Like, they are hoping the State Bar of California takes this up under RICO. Like, I know that is what Rosengard is setting it up for, is RICO.
Yeah, he had a criminal enterprise out of this conservatorship. I don't think anyone can argue anything else. Like, on its face, it looks criminal enough, but I think when you start digging through the accounting that he's done over the last 13 some years, you're going to get into a level of, like, because shell game, money laundering, whatever you want to call it, is one of those things that you keep moving things and assets and converting money to assets, assets to money, money to assets, and who owns them. And it works like a shell game, you know, or a cup game where you have the, like, find the ball. Of, like, you're constantly moving the assets, and it does hit a point where trying to figure out what the fuck happened.
Well, they've already found that, you know, she's already paid $30 million to lawyers. Rosengard has had to hire a former FBI agent to begin going through this and running this investigation of the wiretapping and starting to take apart this stuff. And they're finding that Jamie has got money stashed here, there, and everywhere in his name that's Britney's.
But again, prove it. Because here's the problem, and especially why often you, like, at no point should you ever do this, because it's a bad life choice, but it can legally get to a point in which the cost to prove all of the things he's done wrong will bankrupt you.
Right.
Like, she could end up going bankrupt if she tries to push this to the absolute limit of holding him accountable for every last penny. She could go bankrupt proving it.
Yeah.
And it's so at some point, someone has to go, look, cut your losses.
Well, at some point, I think once the 12th and 13th accounting is done, and she has most of her assets back, and she's got the marriage that she wants, and she's got the business manager that she wants, and she's back to being free and producing her art, have at it. Go get them. You know, here you go, feds. Here's your lovely case. Have fun with it. I'm going to go over here and make a new album.
Yeah. Well, but in addition, he still may come out of this with a significant amount of money, significant resources stashed all over the place that aren't touchable.
Well,
because
let's see.
Prove it.
Well, I'm going to see what the tarot cards say. Will James Spears get his ass put in jail? I haven't done these for a while. I need to start taking this back up and throwing cards on things. Oof. Oh, the tarot has a sense of humor in general. First up card is the Hierophant. Moral choices and obligations will be required. Then we have the Ten of Cups. There's some family members that know shit, and they better start singing if they want to be out of the Canaries. Then we have the Devil card. The devil may have made him do it, but the devil is going to imprison his ass. And this actually strikes off into a new legal case. Something more problematic is coming on the winds, guys.
Like, there's the sad moment in this, and it does exist a lot. Like, once you start unraveling, like, typically when you start looking at someone who has done something so horrible, this isn't their first or only rodeo. Like, where did he learn this? How did he learn this? Where did this come from? And it's very possible he has a lot of different moving parts outside of the Britney milking operation that are equally fucked up.
Well, let's take a deeper look here. Now, you know, everyone knows Lee Taylor, the abhorrent manager. Let's take a look and see what Lee Taylor gets out of this. All right, stop being a smartass.
Oh, is the deck being that rude?
Oh yeah, that's being that rude. I'm like, stop being a smartass. You can't just repeat it. All right, so first up the gate, we have the Death card. Major changes for Lutera.
Mm-hmm.
The Ace of Pentacles reversed. Ooh, bad money. The Hierophant sent out to be alone. The Page of Swords looking for battles and inquest. And the final outcome is the Three of Wands trying to question what you own and where you go. Lutera may be up in a ship creek without a paddle.
Yeah. I think as a professional money manager, that's where one should end up.
Well, as a professional manager, like they're supposed to be a managing company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. This. And I think that's the other part of this that I think a lot of people really struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this wasn't him alone. This wasn't
Right.
Jamie Spears alone.
Mm-hmm.
This was in concert with
Right.
professional services.
Right.
And the fact that the professional services
Mm-hmm.
that were involved in this allowed him and were not. And I mean, again, based on what we're seeing,
Right.
allowed him to fuck up this badly.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, and it scares me. This is the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more.
Yeah, we've not even gotten to the base of the iceberg. There's even debate if Lou Taylor and Yeated Spears was having an affair. We know that she gave him a $5 million loan.
Yeah. It makes me. Here's a better question.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a good one for the tarot, maybe not. How likely is it that the net worth of Britney Spears, actual, if you could prove it, if you could consolidate it all backwards into one giant mound, that it is orders of magnitude more than what they currently think it is? Because I keep thinking it seems like that's kind of low.
Oh, it's low. All right, so we'll do the 5-card draw. Here you go. We have the Knight of Swords running up against the Moon. Then we know the Magician here. She made it herself. The Stars is saying the Star's the limit. And then the only number card in this is 9. So I'm going to pull one more card. And then we're looking at the Queen of Pentacles here. So I'm going to say her net worth may be upwards to either 900 million or 900 million. That's how much she's made.
I'm sorry, but that seems more reasonable. Like, it's an insane amount of money, but I'm just going, that's like, you know, the numbers they've been throwing around for her net worth, it's just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, not even righteous numbers.
Well, I mean, like, it just seems really low. It's like, how bad were these deals? Like, you know, and granted, 90s pop stars got, you know, stuck with a lot of really bad deals.
Yeah. According to Forbes in 2021, Britney Spears was only estimated at 60 million.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, is it seems like it would seem like she was getting a pittance of what she should have been.
Right.
Like, that's where the numbers keep going in my head, is like, that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Like, even with all of like what Jamie Spears was doing, it's like the numbers still don't add. They don't track.
Right. I mean, so I think that we're upwards to 900 million here once we're done with this.
Okay.
and we added all up what she's had to spend on lawyers, what she's had to spend on lawyers that wasn't even authorized to be in her court case. Like Loeb and Lowe was never had an order, was never signed because her bullshit court-appointed attorney that they only would allow her to have for so many years didn't fill out the order.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. I just really think there's a lot more. Like I just keep feeling like there's so many parts where this feels like it's just a small portion. Like, and it's horrible.
Right.
But it feels like there's a lot of missing money. There's a lot of missing assets. Like if it's not liquid cash, it's a lot of missing assets. Because I'm just sitting here going, I would have thought, unless she was in some of the worst deals ever, that are somewhere around the early 2000s, she would have at least been grossing that much in a few months.
Well, let's talk about Britney Spears' last tour. Okay. I've seen it mentioned a number of times because that's the deal where Daddy got everything.
Oh, great.
$350 million from her last tour
is what he got?
Is what the tour got.
Okay. And so, but he got everything that she should have received, right?
Well, he got like 2% of this and so much of this and then all the costs and everything else.
Okay. And nothing went to her.
Right.
Okay. So, but do they have any totals on what he actually walked away with?
Well, right now they're looking at $6 million, and that's just in straight profit. They're not knowing all the backwards deals.
Okay.
Now when we look at how much Britney has earned just on album sales alone, Baby One More Time was $25 million. Oops, I Did It Again was $20 million. Britney was $9 million. In the Zone was $6 million. Blackout was $3.1 million. Circus was $4 million. Feminine Fatal is $836,000. Britney Jean was $267,000. Glory was $154,000. Not counting her concerts, she's earned within the millions of. Not counting any other performance. I mean, the money doesn't add up.
Yeah, it's like, how do you end up at 60 million? Because again, even with everything that's come out, because again, I would expect a larger asset portfolio. Like if she had 60 million in liquid cash, okay, I get that.
Right.
Like that's more than enough.
Right.
And then had millions more.
Right.
In hard assets.
Right.
Non-liquid assets. Houses and, jewelry and stock and business partnerships and, stock and, not stock, but partnerships,
right.
On and on and on and on and on. I expect her to have a lot of like hard assets.
Right.
Not cash assets.
Right.
So 60 million in cash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm also sitting here going, it literally almost looks like what she grossed on those albums,
right,
is what she still has.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you have a fiduciary requirement because that's more than enough.
Right.
Assets.
Right.
To properly invest.
Right.
To effectively continue to pump money back into her estate.
Right.
Like, how bad were your business choices to invest in,
Right.
that she effectively made zero gain.
Right.
Like the literal amount coming in and the amount going out were a net zero.
Right. And see, this is what doesn't make sense to me. Her conservatorship cost her over $1 million per year. Her agent gets 10% cut of her earnings. Her manager gets 15% of her cut of her earnings, and her various accountants accounts on the payroll. Managing a non-figure fortune can be costly between taxes and personal fees. It doesn't make sense why Britney to be 1/7 of what she's earned over the past 2 decades and living on a $1,500 a weekly budget.
Yeah. Like, can I point out, like, we struggle at that level?
We don't live on a $1,500 weekly budget.
If you count all the utilities and stuff.
We still don't operate on a $115,000 a week budget, honey.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said a $1,500.
Yeah, we don't live on that.
Which way are you saying that? Like, my number is way inflated, or like
on average, we live on $1,000 a week.
Yeah, but but that's
and that includes utilities, long-term investments, short-term investments, groceries, food, and our expensive cigarette habit that we pay that is used to pay for child taxes.
But still, you get what I'm saying, though, is that's not all that different.
Well, it is a good bit different because we can afford to buy you Skechers. We can afford to go for sushi. We can afford to invest. We can afford to make decisions on our own on that.
What I'm saying, though, is if depending upon whether that's like literal allowance money, go buy whatever you want, or if that's, okay, here's your allowance, fundamentally, here's your paycheck, and you've got to pay like your utilities, buy your food, do this, and that's where her budgeting is. That's ridiculous.
Mr. Calculator, hit your numbers. Figure out how much that is a month.
Oh, $1,500 a week?
Yeah.
That would be $6,000 a month.
Okay. No.
So that would be $72,000 a year.
For those wondering, I'm referring to my budget planner.
Yeah. That's
Our
what I'm
budget
saying.
For January was, and this is everything included, a new car payment.
Yeah.
Budget was $2,584.
Okay.
For the month.
Wow, we had a light month.
No, we didn't.
Well, I mean, no.
Yeah, we normally hit between 25 and 30, well, 25 and 3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, and in California, she's expected, like, and that's the other part of this, is what she's taking in out of all of this is literally not that much better than where we are financially. I'm not saying we're destitute and starving and like, oh my God.
No.
But we're not living in California.
One, we're not living in California. Two, we are not running up debt over the house. Three, we do own a good bit of assets. Our net worth has been a little impacted here lately, but nothing major. But still, that is nowhere near what a person of her caliber, her skills, or her earning potential should be forced to live on.
Well, I mean, more so, like, there's no reason that she should have to.
Right. There's no reason she should be told she can't go have sushi for 2 nights in a row. Or she can't have a pair of Skechers.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I'm kind of stuck at with this
Mm-hmm.
is like when you break it down into those numbers, it's and yeah, we would all love $6,000 a month to just like pay your bills and do your thing. There's a lot of people that like that's 72,000 a year. That's not
Right.
a lot of money. It is. There are many people would be thrilled to get 72,000 a year. I'm not saying that's not a significant amount of money.
Right.
I'm just saying, one, California.
Right.
Two, like that means that she could pretty much live out her life on like 10 million.
Basically.
I mean, I'm doing so. Let's see, 10 million. Extra zero divided by 72,000.
Mm-hmm.
She could live for 138 years at that point.
Right.
Tell me how that's reasonable compared to her total assets.
Exactly.
Like, tell me who sat down and created this calculation and
Well,
said
Jamie, he
Britney.
was, yeah.
Well, that Britney was going to live to 200.
Well, and that's with Jamie, or being paid $18,000 a week to manage her assets.
Yeah, this kind of goes back to my sort of my joke last show about having a handbag that costs more than what you can afford to put in it.
Uh-huh.
If the person managing your money is getting more per week to manage it
Mm-hmm.
than you are getting,
Mm-hmm.
there's a significant problem.
Right.
Like, that's a very significant problem.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's just where my brain's at. Like, no. Sorry. That I'm just saying that's Jamie Spears is the Birkin bag with the Britney broke ass wallet.
Right. Well, in 2019, the average income in California was $31,960.
Okay.
The household income there was 75,235.
Well, California in general?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but again, we're like I'm sitting here going, I don't feel like Britney's living in a trailer park.
No.
Rough estimate for LA though.
Mm-hmm.
Median income. Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
2872? Household 64. How is it lower in
Because
Los
it
Angeles?
includes Orange County.
That would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it now. All right. I'm just trying to figure out, yeah.
Right.
I mean, again, she's not living to 200.
Right.
There's
Again.
no
Right.
version where this makes sense.
None. It doesn't.
Again, I don't think she should be spending $1 million a day. Like, I that would be poor financial planning.
Right.
But like 72,000 a year?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Right.
I don't think I would go through the shit she does for 72,000 a year. I would quit.
Right.
Like, no. Like, not and pay someone what? A literal order of magnitude more than I get
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to manage it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
All right, guys. Well, we've hit that 2 hour mark, so we're going to make Aeson's life easy and wrap it up.
We are.
Now, we will be talking about the teacher that needs some language lessons in Texas on mountain bears.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys can join us Friday night at 9:30 live on Facebook and YouTube. Remember to do the likey, sharey things, please. If you haven't subscribed and followed us, please do so. And as always, have a good night. Wash your hands. Wear your face masks. Stay safe.
And thank you to our baristas.
Oh, yes, we need to take care of our baristas. Now, I do want to add a barista that hasn't made the list yet because I just got notice today of it.
Yes.
We have a new baristas. That is Dottie the
Dottie.
Psychic.
Yes. So, in addition to Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Ashley Gish, Shannon C, Shannon D, the ever wonderful Lady Gwendolyn, and Charles Shaw, we are welcoming Dottie the Psychic. So, welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, and if you'd like to support the show, learn more about us, or how you too can become a barista and receive all the wonderful benefits that our Patreon sponsors receive, please visit us at PCSPnetwork.com.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
This is a calm before the storm. You know what's coming, so be warned. You can't